Mista, you tapped in with PPhilms. What's the word, man?
What's going on, bro? How you?
I'm good. I'm good. Listen, man, we ain't even gonna waste time. We're gonna get straight into it. Um, had you do an interview. For the people that don't know, you did an interview. You said some things about Brazo Cole from Behind the Walls. He gave his point of view. He had K-Dot jump on the line, and they said a couple of things. And there were certain things you wanted to clarify. You wanted clarity with certain things. You presented some paperwork that we didn't see before, so we just gonna go through that now. You know, for the people that don't know, Brazo's issues with you stems from the precinct. That's what he's saying. Basically, from the precinct, you had already said certain things that implicated you or whatever the case may be. K-Dot said his issue with you was too much said in the grand jury, and also I think he said he didn't know that you was doing a grand jury, but he was against it. So we got you here. I guess start off with the precinct. What do you have to say about that?
First and foremost, free
Yeah.
Brazo,
Yeah.
free all the guys. Alright. He said something about the precinct that I implicated him in the precinct. So,
Yeah.
and he told you that I made the first statement. I just went to the precinct and ran my mouth, right? This message right here is basically like educational purposes. You feel me? And showing y'all how to read paperwork. You feel me? So Brazo told you that I made the first statement in the precinct, and he said I implicated him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this right here, what I just showed you is the statements that was made, and it's three statements that was made. Right? The first statement was made on October 9th, 2015 at 10:52
Gotcha.
by defendant Washington, which is Brazo. Right?
So he spoke first in the precinct.
Yes.
Okay.
This is what was said. Defendant stated in some substance, the gun isn't mine.
Yeah.
So over it, we know that's just a gun case. Over it.
Gotcha.
The gun isn't mine. I don't know who brought the gun into the car. The vehicle is registered in my girlfriend's name. I just bought the vehicle for my mother. I can't be around this stuff. I am not about that gang life. Now you just refer something about a gang.
Yeah.
I have kids to take care of. I just lost my job. Like, that was the first statement. The second statement was made on October 10th, 2015 at 12:22 p.m.
Yeah.
by defendant Stanley,
K-Dot.
which is K-Dot. Defendant stated in some substance, I was driving the vehicle. He admitted to what? Driving the vehicle.
Yeah.
I heard the shots fired, but I wasn't near it. I was a few blocks away over on Howard. I don't know whose gun it is. You just identified what?
Gun.
A gun.
Okay.
Okay. I had nothing to do with the gun. I wouldn't have gotten in the car had I known there was a gun.
Yeah.
Again. Okay. The last statement. October 10th, 2015 at 12:55 p.m.
Yeah. You go last.
Sony, Mista, which is me. Defendant stated in substance, I was in the front passenger seat. Washington was in the back seat. They came and got me from my grandmother's house on Howard and Sutter.
Yeah.
I didn't refer to no crime, no nothing. They asked me where I was seated. I was in the front passenger seat.
Yeah.
Washington was in the back seat.
Yeah.
I didn't say that we did anything. I didn't refer to anything about a gun. I don't know about a gun. You know what I'm trying to show you?
Yeah.
All right. So, Dot said that I implicated him in my grand jury.
Yeah.
Right? For y'all that don't know, the DA for my grand jury was the same DA for our conspiracy, which is right here.
Yeah.
The DA name is Corey Shook,
Yeah.
which you can see on documentations like this.
So you basically saying like
So I'm basically
he had
saying that
already known.
he already was familiar with who Karan is and Melquan is and Mistas and the K-Dots and the Hood Stars, and he already know that. Things that y'all can read is like we got them in black and white. So he know that.
Yeah.
I never implicated him.
Yeah.
I never said that he did any crimes, none of that. They asked about the trap. I told them it was a song from it was a song that we created. He said he cut me off. I'm like, no, a trap house is where you store what?
Yeah.
No. I clearly read that. So where I implicated anybody at?
Yeah. You know, when I think Brazo keeps saying, you know, the situation came from the back. The situation came from the back. So he knew that's why he didn't want to be seated in the back. What's that right there?
This right here says, right? This is a part of our DD5 that you'll get, right? But it says one of the apprehended males, Melcorn Thorny, was pointed out as the shooter by witnesses.
Okay. So somebody said that you was the shooter.
Right. Brazo is saying I advocated him as he's the shooter. For one, I don't know nothing about the shooting. And what did I say anything or implicate anybody about the shooting? On October 9th at approximately 17:13 hours, a 911 call came over for a 1052 dispute at Amboy Street and Blake Avenue. Shortly thereafter, a shot spotter job did come over from that location via operations, assisting that 7 shots were fired. Responding Unit 73rd Patrol Sector King, they observed a white SUV attempting to leave the location after a witness pointed it out to them and did conduct a car stop in regards. 3 males, one firearm was recovered from the car. There was no property damage or injuries. One of the apprehended males, Melquan Thorny, was pointed out as the shooter by witnesses. P.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything being said about any shots being fired at the backseat?
Nah. They just pointed you. They said a witness pointed out the car, said it was a white vehicle, and they pointed out the car, said it was a white vehicle, and said that I guess they pointed you out. Somebody knew and said, "Yo, he did it." Melquan Thornton, you, Mista.
In my grand jury statements, me and 2 other people, we were seated in a car, and two officers stopped the car over, whatever, and pulled us over, saying that they heard shots. They asked if we were throwing firecrackers out the side of the car, whatever. The question, when y'all see the paper, it says, did you say firecrackers? Me, yes. They asked if we threw firecrackers out the car. We said no. They asked for our hands. Can we step outside the car? They asked us to step outside the car, which we all stepped outside the car. And all I know is the officer, he pulled the gun at all of us. He put the gun at all of us and told the other officers to arrest us. From then we all been proceed to 73rd precinct, for which we are here now. Does that conclude your statement? Yes.
Gotcha.
In all of my statements, I never said anything about a gun.
Yeah.
When they kept asking me about a gun or shooting, so who can I implicate that did what?
Yeah.
If the finger was already getting pointed at me.
So it seems like, yeah, they were already saying, you know what, Mr. did it.
It says right here. one of the apprehended males, Melquan Pony, was pointed out as the shooter by witnesses. So, then again, right? This is saying that I told on them, right?
Yeah.
In my grand jury minutes, where did it say that you did what?
Yeah. I think where was it? During the interview, K-Dot said K-Dot said this, and then Brazo kind of co-signed, where they was like, there's a part they want you to draw a map. There's a map, and they like, yo, he drew a map and this and that. That he said that bothered them.
All right.
You want to like explain that part?
So at the grand jury, right?
Yeah.
I got confused with the Sutter and Blake.
Yeah.
You from Brownsville? I done lived in the hood for forever, bro. You heard? Those two situations that you'll get confused, like Dumont, Blake, Sutter, Blake. When you feel me?
Gotcha.
So when I'm telling him the block that we driving down, I got that confused. So he's like, yo, you know what? This is a map. Draw
Yeah.
And that's how that came about.
Gotcha. Now drawing the map, because they was just like, yo, why he did that, how he did that. Did that affect anything of the case? Did that affect you?
If we all would have went to trial, we'd have beat it.
Yeah.
If we all would have went to trial, we'd have beat it.
What was the map for? Was they was trying to catch you in a lie or something, or see if you drove down the block
was
where?
Basically, them like saying cause I told in my statement was that they like Brazo came and got me from my grandma's crib.
Okay.
Like we was on our way to the studio for me going to get weed, right? So once I got when I thought this was Blake,
Yeah.
whatever, I said like, you know what, to make it for me unconfusing.
Draw the map. Gotcha. Now I'm saying like, did that? Cause
that didn't make nothing about the case, like, cause at the end of the day, if Brazo saying that I told on him, this is why he had to cop out, right? Right? What you cop out to? Attempt possession of a weapon.
Yeah.
Same charge I got. You didn't cop out to no shooting. And you like not like that, but you implicated us, gang. Anybody that had code D's, I know this is one rod, bro. 3 people, you heard? If he told you that he was gonna take the charge, right?
Yeah.
If you took the charge, your 2 code D's walk, bro.
Yeah.
Not your 2 code D's.
Yeah, man.
I copped out for Dot to get probation.
When you say that, what you mean? Like, is it like
Like,
yeah, explain that for.
So before we started trial, before we was proceeding with the trial, right? The judge went off record, gave me time to speak to my family. My moms was there, shorties, the bros, his parents, Dot. What was said from there, bro? Like, bro, take the file, bro. This the first time file was even being mentioned. When I went in the back to speak to my lawyer, he was talking about before they even filed, they told my mom's 5, right? My lawyer said 5.5. I'm like, bro, I started flipping on him like, yo, what you mean 5.5? Like, mom just said 5. It's like, well, let me go see if they came back. Like, oh, consider today your second birthday. Like, they could do 5. What? Cause I really wanted to go trial, bro. Like,
Yeah.
One, you got Brazo playing on my name. That's 1. 2, y'all charged me with something I didn't do.
Now, did they know you was gonna go to the grand jury? Because something K-Dot said was like they never knew you was doing that.
Bro, knew I was going to grand jury because when we first got booked, and there was like, yo, grand jury Friday, and bro was like, he was gonna take the charge, but not like, once we figure things out, like bail and all that, you feel me? Like, that's when he was like, no. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm on parole, bro. They could come snatch me, like, whatever. So he like, yo, bro. Basically, like, I knew I was going to grand jury.
Yeah.
And in my grand jury, like I'm explaining, right? When they asked was Dot the driver and all that, these is things that he already in his precinct. What's the name? You got to look at the date and times.
Yeah.
So look at the date on my grand jury and look at the date of the time when we got locked up. We got locked up on the 9th, October 9th. Brazo statement was on the 9th. Me and Dot statement was the next day. My grand jury was that following Friday, or something like that. So when you get the chance, whatever, we could find a date for that, whatever. But new, bro.
Yeah.
Dot probably, I ain't gonna lie. I really don't. I feel like when I threw the Frank at Dot, our whole situation is when I told Dot he could suck my.
Yeah. Why you had to say that?
Huh? What? Like,
Yo.
cause like I said, at that time,
Yeah.
even me just being a man right now, at that time, I was wrong when I tossed the Frank because he didn't fully understood. Like, I heard that he told you that he went to school for law, he knew what an affidavit and all that was. And
Yeah,
all
he
this
said he was in school at the time.
Bro, when I brought the situation up to him, did not know what an affidavit was. I had to explain to him, like, yo, bro, I just want you to explain that I was seated in the front passenger seat.
Yeah.
And at this time that we having this conversation is around the trial.
Got you. And Brazo has already taken his time.
Already done took his 2 years and he's upstate already.
Okay.
You feel me? He's already upstate serving his time for saying that he took the charge.
Gotcha.
And we going to trial.
Yeah.
So he's saying that, oh, I already told somebody, like, oh, I told him that I wanted him to mention Brazo. No.
Yeah.
Only thing I needed him to say was that I was seated in the front passenger seat. That's it. Brazo already copped out. We don't really have to mention him.
Gotcha.
So when he said no, it was like some funny, I tossed the Frank.
Yeah.
This was a minute ago. You feel me? So he probably felt some type of way about that. I saw him after that 2020 in Garvey. Pieced him, all that. We was on live, for me, singing wild back in the days hits. You ain't never,
Yeah.
for me, approach that situation, or for me, you never. So it's kind of foreign to me that you doing, for me.
He has said, Mista knows how I feel about the situation.
Ask him when we ever spoke about this. When, and we spoke like a week or two before y'all interviewed.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, as a man, we could have this, like, conversation, man.
He never said, like, yo, you did bad with that situation, or he never had none of that.
Bro.
Yeah.
He never even mentioned, like, we done spoke as sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you say I did anything when black and white don't lie, bro? Like,
Yeah.
you just said you admitted to being the driver on here.
Yeah.
Right? You the one that mentioned something about a gun on your what's name. I'm not even saying, like, anybody that know and read law, like, we could put some bread up and just give our case to somebody that really into, like, law and read. And hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Whew.
Man.
I'm just saying, like, I done been to the feds. I done pushed this work to the feds.
Yeah.
And I'm still blue check. Not saying it like that, like, men lie, women lie. Black and white don't, bro. You heard?
Yeah.
I never implicated nobody of no type of charge.
I'm glad you brought that up. He had said we all had to say the same thing with the whole acting in concert thing. He had said, "What do you mean? We all had to say the same thing." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
That you said that. Those that don't know, this is my sentencing commitment.
What is that called?
My sentencing and commitment,
Okay.
meaning that, like, if a person like cooperated and stuff like that, like these is the papers how you can tell. Feel me?
If they cooperate.
Yeah, like the remarks and stuff, like the judge would, feel me? And if you read the paper,
What would it say if you did? It would say what you said or something like that.
yeah, like usually, like when a person is want to tell if you cooperated in a case or something like that, they ask you for your sentencing commitment. This is a witness list.
Yeah.
Anybody that went to trial, y'all done got this before. These is people that names likely to be mentioned during trial.
I do want to go back to the other thing. For your plea, it says, Mr. Thoney, to your interview conducted by the Department of Probation, defendant admits his guilt. Defendant states, based on his criminal record, on the advice of his attorney, accepted the plea. Defendant states, we was in a car that had a weapon present, but the weapon did not belong to him. The defendant states he is satisfied with his plea. The court, with the benefit of counsel at your side, respectfully ask permission to allocate you from your counsel when you withdraw your guilty plea for the negotiated plea. So you never had to say like, yo, I did this with XYZ.
Right.
Yeah.
You just read what I just said. You just read what.
Damn.
That's black and white though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious, I said this before, I said it off camera, so I gotta say it on camera. I feel like I am curious to know, because I believe Brazo said he was gonna take the charge. I think that was his words. I believe he said that during the interview. He was gonna take the charge. So it's like, why is all of this happening? Why should two friends fall out? If he says I'm gonna take the charge, who cares what happens after that? He's taking the charge. Why is he saying you told, or you saying he did this or that? He said it's like, if I'm gonna take the charge, then I don't care if you say yo P did it. I said I'm taking the charge. You good, bro? I don't care what you say. I mean, whatever you got to deal with in the streets after you say that, that's on you. But I told you I'm taking the charge, so I'm not mad at you. So I'm wondering why the conflict, why the tension? You feel me?
Pretty much so. I feel like the guilt,
Yeah.
like the guilty conscience. You feel me? Like I said, he told you out his mouth that he was gonna take the charge, right?
Yeah.
For all my street that did time. And if you ever had code D's and you take the charge, your code D's walk.
Yeah.
You taking full responsibility for your actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So saying that you act in a concert with X and Y,
Yeah. I said another thing. I hate this whole snitching culture, because I feel like I said this before. It makes friends like separate. It's like, I asked him this, so I gotta ask you too. After all this, can y'all be friends? Like, whether it's now, whether it's later down the line. I know Tom Hills and all that. Could there be a conversation amongst the three of y'all, where it's like, we were friends before this. We went through what we went through. We were young. We might have said the wrong things to one another at that time. We might have did the wrong things, but we grown now and the friendship is more important. Could that be something that y'all facilitate?
I'm gonna say this, right? Though I love him,
Yeah.
still got some type of love for him, you heard?
Yeah.
But I feel like we'll never be how we once was. Like, not saying that it would bother him or it's bothering me, you heard?
Yeah.
I just, like, with this situation right here, I don't like the he say, she say, so we just gonna wrap this up, right? Like I said, I didn't implicate nobody. I just, during the case, if you saying that you're gonna take something,
Yeah.
right? This is what I'm trying to say, Pete.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. I don't think I'm like, if I'm saying anything wrong,
Yeah.
somebody correct me. If we code these and I'm telling you I'm gonna take the charge and you plead and you implicate your code these, you did bad. That's
Yeah.
not taking the charge. That's
Gotcha.
you telling your mans to come out. They got us.
Yeah.
And the whole time, you saying that I did something on you, P, did I? You just read.
Your sentence in minutes. We just read your plea.
And then I just read to you what somebody pointed out at
You.
where, and then like, hold on, wait. Let's not look past the witness list,
Yeah.
because remember, it says witnesses pointed me out as the shooter.
Yeah.
This right here is a witness list. These is cops. It says witnesses to be called or names likely to be mentioned during trial.
Yeah.
I was going to trial. Dot was going to trial. Karan Stanley, Mo Ponthoni, the people versus. It was three of us. Brazo is upstate already.
Yeah.
So around the time that I asked Dot to write me an affidavit, it was around this time. Right? And when I asked him to write me an affidavit, I never said to write anything implicating Brazo. We didn't even need Brazo. I just needed him to say that I was seated in the front passenger seat. He felt that I was trying to throw Brazo underneath the bus.
Yeah.
One, how he's already upstate, he pleaded already. That's one. Two, I didn't even tell you to even mention him. I just said I'm asking you where I was seated at. Basically.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, so I got tight and I threw the frame. I was wrong at that time. You heard? I was young, whatever. I was wrong. I was tight.
Yeah.
You feel me? I threw the frame. Cool. I saw him after that, 2020. He ain't mentioned nothing of this. We peace. Yo, what's up, bro? It was 627, which is today. Right? 2020. We was in Garvey on Bristol.
Yeah.
He ain't mentioned none of this. Before y'all interview, a week or two ago, I just spoke to him. He ain't mentioned none of this. So when he said, oh, I knew, already know what's up, like, we spoke wild times, gang. More than 5 times.
Man. Well, I hope y'all can talk,
I feel like
at some point.
I feel like Dot held a grudge ever since that experience with me throwing a frank to him. You heard? And he probably ain't officially get over it. Brazo, I feel like if I told you for real, like I wouldn't even try to like violate his character.
Yeah.
You heard? We had this conversation off camera, so I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just to show you what type of person I am. You heard, bro? Like, You know the full in-depth details, Pete.
Yeah.
You heard? So it's like,
I mean, you pulled out a lot of stuff. Now I'm definitely gonna take the pictures
yeah,
and
you
post them
gotta
as well. Absolutely. I'm not
like
gonna leave
look at
without
the
doing that.
dates. You gotta, cause it's a storyline that they trying to paint. Niggas is like, you know.
I got you. I'm gonna
So
definitely
you
put it
gotta
up.
let them see the work, bro. Like this is educational purposes. We saving the next generation. I'm trying to show the youth that the streets is like not it, bro. Like
Yeah.
you outside, being grown, you catching these cases. This will come for me.
That's what comes with it.
That's what comes with it, bro. And you gotta
Possible.
know who, school, what's what, bro.
Yeah. If there's one message you would leave, because like you said, educational purposes, you created STNG. Two things. What would you tell your younger self before anything, before Mista was essentially Mista, Hood Stars, all that? What would you tell your younger self then, and then what would you tell the youth now? What would that message be?
I'd have told my younger self, focus more on you,
Yeah,
focus more on the small group that we was,
yeah,
and stay focused. Like, I'd have told myself so much, like, a lot of my bros probably be alive still, bro probably be home,
yeah,
free coach,
yeah,
free Brazo, free all the guys, like a lot of, like, even though I'm still, like, this right here, I don't still wish no harm on no man, bro, you heard? Like,
yeah. Gotcha.
at the end of the day, ain't no harm for me, like, I ain't gonna,
Yeah,
you feel me?
and that's
But
that. And how about for the youth?
for the youth, bro, I'm leading by example, showing them that, like, other decisions, like, for example, I just started a nonprofit,
Yeah,
right? Basically, sharing my experiences with the youth and letting them know, like, it took me this long to get, or it took me this long to start trying to do the right thing.
yeah,
When, if I would have just listened in high school and found a little career, if you ask people right now, like kids right now, like 16, 17, about something about working or something like that, they probably not even focused on
yeah,
no working, no job. But if they knew, if they work from they 16 to damn near 20, 25, they ain't even gotta work no more by the time they, for me,
yeah.
but that's what they did. That's on some,
They need somebody to
like,
explain that to them, walk them through that, or see it.
or see it. And this is
Yeah,
why STNG, like, exists. Like, we trying to, we not trying, but we leading by example.
gotcha,
Feel me?
gotcha.
So it's
I
like
like that. Yeah, gotcha.
everything, and it just don't happen overnight.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes
Work.
time. Feel me?
Gotcha.
But like a lot of the youth, they are fascinated with the mass. So if everybody over here is, oh, they into the putting in work, whatever, you going to put in work with somebody that you think you know, but you don't really know them.
Yeah, that's the
I
worst.
mean, you got that a police will come there, throw the grip by you,
Yeah.
try to kick the. Feel me? How you, my bro? You trying to?
Yeah, I think you told me that I
You
guess
feel
he
me? I'm
tried.
just it just certain that. Feel me?
Yeah, yeah. Man,
It's weird, bro.